Why work yourself to exhaustion when you can just rest? That's the quiet question echoing through South Korea's youth. According to Statistics Korea, the number of people aged 15 to 29 classified as just resting reached 504,000 in February, the highest ever recorded. This is the first time the figure has surpassed 500,000, even exceeding the peak during COVID. What looks like a statistical trend is, in fact, a window into a much larger generational shift. In a hyper-competitive society where effort no longer guarantees reward, more and more young South Koreans are choosing to step back, not out of laziness, but as a response to mounting economic, psychological, and social pressures. In South Korea's hyper-educated society, many young people grow up with a promise. Study hard, get a degree, and you'll land a stable, well-paying job. But in today's job market, that dream is slipping further out of reach. Instead of feeling rewarded for their efforts, many feel betrayed by a system that is oversaturated with highly educated candidates, but offers too few good opportunities. In a survey conducted by the Federation of Korean Industries in April 2025, more than 76% of sampled unemployed individuals aged 19 to 34 said they believed there simply are not enough quality job opportunities in the country. The breakdown of responses painted a clearer picture. 42.6% said quality jobs were somewhat lacking. 33.8% said they were severely lacking. And only 1.2% felt that such opportunities were mostly or fully sufficient. So, what defines a quality job? For most young people, it means a position that offers fair salary, followed closely by job security and work-life balance. But in today's volatile labor market, those qualities are becoming increasingly difficult to find. As educational qualifications rise and the pool of stable, desirable jobs shrinks, a quiet kind of paralysis is taking hold. The Bank of Korea has observed that young people today tend to be more educated than the core working age population, but at the same time more selective in their job choices. The mismatch between the limited availability of high-quality jobs and these elevated expectations has prompted many younger people to voluntarily withdraw from the labor market. Labor lawyer Suman Oh pointed out that young people feel motivated to seek employment only when there are good job opportunities available. However, the number of jobs that provide such motivation has been decreasing. On the flip side, many young South Koreans have limited job experience, which further narrows their employment prospects. As companies continue to favor experienced applicants and rely on on-demand hiring, it becomes increasingly difficult for young job seekers to enter the workforce. Gang Mi-suk, head of social statistics at Statistics Korea, explained that the job market's focus on experienced workers and on-demand hiring is making it harder for young job seekers. Positions once seen as stepping stones for fresh graduates are now few and far between, leaving many stuck in a frustrating paradox. They need experience to get a job, but need a job to gain experience. For those unable to secure full-time positions, the fallback is often precarious short-term work. According to the Korea Herald, the country is facing its toughest job market in over a decade, and young workers are taking the hardest hit. Many young Koreans are not choosing part-time work as a strategy. For them, it's a lifeline. As full-time roles vanish, fragmented part-time work is often the only way to get by, even if it offers no real path forward. Statistics Korea reported that the number of short-term workers reached 1.74 million in 2024, accounting for 6.09% of all employed people. This is also the highest rate ever recorded. Online forums are filled with similar complaints. One young person wrote, "These days, most part-time jobs are split into short shifts. I want to work full-time, but since there are no such positions, I might have to look for a second job." Another added, "I searched every convenience store near my home, but full-time jobs are hard to find. Most shifts are only 3 hours a day, which is not enough for a proper income." As instability drags on, many young South Koreans are no longer just struggling to find work. They are stepping away from the job market altogether. Officially, they are labeled as resting, a term for those who are neither working nor actively looking for employment. But behind that label lies a deeper crisis. The number of people in this group has nearly doubled over the past decade in Korea. As of May 2025, Statistics Korea reported 683,894 individuals were classified as resting. Strikingly, 82% of them had previously held jobs but gave up on looking for work after quitting, a clear sign of what experts are now calling re-employment burnout. These are not just jobless youth. They are young workers who once tried, failed, and chose to walk away. And that figure is 4.6 times higher than the number of those who never held a job. The reasons vary, but according to a report released by the state-run Korea Employment Information Service, the most common explanations include a lack of motivation, 38.1%, the desire to focus on education or self-development, 35%, burnout, 27.2%, and mental health issues, 25%. The average rest period among these individuals was 22.7 months, which is nearly 2 years, suggesting that what starts as a short pause often turns into a prolonged exit. This quiet exit from the workforce reflects a deeper mindset shift. For many, walking away feels more rational than staying in jobs that offer little security, fulfillment, or future. At the heart of this problem lies a web of societal expectations. In South Korea, jobs carry immense social meaning. It's not just as a source of income, but as a symbol of identity, worth, and adulthood. Taking a job that's beneath one's degree or even relocating for work can be seen as failure, especially if it means leaving behind soul's prestige or settling for a lower status role. Because of that, many would rather remain unemployed than face judgment. This isn't merely about personal preference. It's a societal dilemma where the pressure to conform often outweighs the need for stable employment, quietly pushing more young people to step back from the workforce. But the pressure doesn't stop at personal or generational struggles. South Korea now faces growing uncertainty on its economic front. Private investment is shrinking, consumer spending remains weak, and overall economic growth is slowing. Companies are tightening budgets, delaying new projects, focusing their recruitment on experienced candidates. This caution is clearly reflected in the numbers. A recent survey by the Korea Employers Federation found that only 60.8% of large firms plan to recruit new employees this year, down from nearly 67% in 2024, and the lowest level since 2022. And for young people already feeling the strain, this makes the job market even more unwelcoming. They are eager to find opportunities, but now face even higher challenges just to get a foot in the door. So, in the face of rising unemployment and dwindling motivation to keep searching, what do young people do to navigate these uncertain, precarious years? For many, the answer is increasingly familiar. They turn to their parents. More and more young Koreans, even those nearing 30, are living off family support just to get by. More than 62% of South Koreans aged 19 to 34 think their parents should provide for them until they are able to take care of themselves financially. Nearly 70% of that same group also felt their parents should cover the costs of their higher education. But not everyone has that safety net. Without stable jobs or income, some young people are turning to riskier means of survival, especially speculative investments like cryptocurrency. Hoping for a quick way out, they pour what little savings they have into volatile digital markets. Unfortunately, the outcomes are often bleak. Instead of finding financial freedom, many end up in debt, burned out, and emotionally drained. What begins as a desperate attempt to take control can quickly spiral into financial ruin, further compounding the very instability they were trying to escape. What does it say about a system when its youngest workers are walking away? They are responding to a system that is no longer holding up its end of the deal. They enter the job market full of hope, only to face vanishing opportunities, a lack of quality job options, and a culture that demands experience before giving them a chance. Add to that the constant burnout, mental strain, and impossible expectations, and it's no surprise that many are stepping away. If this issue continues unsolved, the consequences will go beyond just statistics. It could reshape how an entire generation views work, adulthood, and their place in society. So the real question is, will they return if nothing changes? Or does the system need to change first? Thanks for watching.